I'm going home where love is waiting. I'm going home, so do not cry. And when I go, I won't be walking, 'cause I'll have wings to fly. Oh, and I will have a garden with flowers at my side, with a silver rain from angels. My garden will never die. I'm going home where love is waiting. I'm going home, so do not cry. And when I go, I won't be walking, 'cause I'll have wings to fly. Oh, my friends will come to meet me. My family will gather too. Oh, and when your time is over, I'll be waiting here for you. I'm going home where love is waiting. I'm going home, so do not cry. And when I go, I won't be walking, 'cause I'll have wings to fly. And when I go, where love is waiting. I'm going home, so do not cry. And when I go, I won't be walking, 'cause I'll have wings to fly. Oh, and I will have a garden with flowers at my side, with a silver rain from angels. My garden will never die. I'm going home, where love is waiting. I'm going home, so do not cry. And when I go, I won't be walking, 'cause I'll have wings to fly. Oh, my friends will come to meet me. My family will gather too. Oh, and when your time is over, I'll be waiting here for you. I'm going home, where love is waiting. I'm going home, so do not cry. And when I go, I won't be walking, 'cause I'll have wings to fly. And when I go, I won't be walking, 'cause I'll have wings to fly.
Of Brandon's life. We are honored by your presence and the love you bring. Please join us as we share reflections and memories of Brandon. Melissa?
Hello, everyone. My name is Melissa Irvin, and I'm going to speak on behalf of the teachers who had the pleasure of knowing Brandon and his family throughout his school years at Clark Elementary. When I was thinking about what I would say tonight, I reached out to my colleagues for their memories and thoughts. My heart was truly warmed by their replies. While we all interacted with Brandon at different times and in different capacities, collectively the same qualities came to mind. Brandon was polite, mild-mannered, respectful, soft-spoken, and always willing to jump in and help a fellow classmate, even without being asked, which is very important. His fourth grade writing teachers, Mrs. Peace and Mrs. Marcy, shared with me that he was a real champ during the writing block. He was always quick to pair up with other students, and in some cases, he helped struggling students or those with which he may have had limited interaction. No matter what, he was always willing to help, to stay with the plan, and pour his heart into it. Brandon was a gifted student with a knack for writing and a great love of technology. There was a lot of healthy competition in the writing classroom among the boys, and Brandon was the inspiration. Mrs. Shaka, his gifted teacher, shared with me that she enjoyed watching him grow from 1st through 3rd grade and that he loved to solve her riddle of the day. Brandon visited Mrs. Shaka at Clark as an 8th grader and through conversation expressed that he wanted to design websites, so she quickly and excitedly tasked him with designing her class webpage. She said it was the most creative, awesome website she ever had. Brandon was well liked by both his teachers and students. He had a mature sense of humor and a fun-loving personality that he did not always show. As a strong reader, Mrs. Peace was counting on Brandon to narrate the class play, The Easter Bunny That Overslept, or at least carry a major role. Instead, he insisted on being the baby who had a giant baby bottle or a bib and had just 2 lines in the play. Bye-bye, Bunny, and I love you, Mr. Bunny. We think he got pleasure out of torturing Mrs. Peace with that one. He made a great bunny and got a kick out of it, and the kids did too. My interactions with Brandon happened about once or twice a week when he would come to the media center to check out books. I got to know his mother very well, as she was one of my volunteers, and one that I might add that continued to volunteer after both Brandon and Austin moved on to middle school. I got to know Brandon through books. He was a 10-year-old boy, an advanced reader with unique interests, whom had read everything. He was the perfect challenge. Whenever he came in for checkout, he would walk up to me and ask for a recommendation. He just could not find a book among the thousands we had on the shelves. He was usually not receptive to my first choice, and so it would begin. He was also my book tester. I would often give him a brand new book, most of which I was very excited about, and ask him to be the first student to read it, and then give me his honest opinion. Most times we agreed, and other times, in polite Brandon fashion, he would break it to me gently. I always had Brandon and other kids like him in mind when I was on the hunt for new and exciting books that would not just entertain, but would inform and appropriately provide the depth and quality that he craved. Brandon was one of the most interesting and sweetest students I've worked with in my almost 20-year teaching career. While he may have been quiet in class, his smile was worth a million words. I'd like to end with a quote by A.A. Milne, the creator of the beloved Winnie the Pooh classics. Sometimes the smallest things take up the most room in your heart. It's those little things that we remember about Brandon that will hold him in our hearts forever. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Sadie, Brandon's cousin. I'm going to read a poem for you guys tonight written by our grandmother. To Brandon, you will never leave us. Time will never fill your space. Forever young you'll always be, and wrapped in our embrace. In the brightness of the morning sun, we'll see your flashing smile. You'll visit in the midnight hours and stay with us a while. We'll see you when we walk the beach and find one perfect shell. You'll never be beyond our reach, the boy we love so well. And when the night is clear, with heaven's constellation, one bright star from all the rest will be your appellation. In all things beautiful you'll walk, through the pathways of our mind. We'll hear your voice in a stranger's talk and in memories left behind. No, you will never leave us, and when our lives are through, then you'll be there, and so will we, to spend eternity with you.
John Luke.
Hi, my name is John Luke Parker. I'm not really good at this speaking thing and standing up in front of crowds. Not many of you may know me, and I may not know many of you, but what we all have in common was a great mutual friend, Brandon. I moved to Tampa this year not knowing a single person. Brandon was the first true friend I had here and wouldn't have changed that for anything or anyone. He approached me at the lunch line and pretty much acted like he already knew me, saying, "Yo man, what's up? I'm Brandon, who are you?" Introduced myself, and when we got food, we didn't have anywhere to sit, so he found us a place to sit, and ever since then we just clicked. He was one of the greatest and oldest souls I ever knew. He put me on to the 50s and 60s jukebox music and introduced me to an amazing group of friends, a family in our eyes. I'll never forget exploring Flatwoods and the beach trips we took and all the laughs we shared, like the one time we went to Sarasota. On the way there it was raining already, so we had our doubts, but we drove through it anyway and had a perfect day. When we were heading back, the sunset was amazing. I actually have a video of him freaking out about it. I may not have known Brandon as good as many of you, but I can say with no doubt in my mind he knew me better than any of you. I trusted him, and I'd like to think he trusted me. He was the type of person to never be mad. Even if he was, he would never hold a grudge. He was easy to talk to, funny, and just all around great. It's a terrible thing to happen, and it's sad to think this is why we're all brought here together, but I'm just thankful for all the wonderful memories I've made with him. My deepest condolences goes out to the family who raised and cherished him. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak on behalf of Brandon. He may be gone, but never will he be forgotten.
Okay. Sean.
Hello everyone, my name is Sean Courtenay. I've known Brandon for about 2 years now, but it's felt like a lifetime. The sun is the biggest, brightest star in our galaxy. It allows life to flourish, brings warmth, provides light, and has one of the strongest gravitational pulls as it has several planets orbiting around it at all times. The sun ironically reminds me of one of my brothers, Brandon's son. He was a very bright young man. He brought life everywhere he went, brought warmth to all of our hearts, served as the light of our lives, and Brandon too had a strong gravitational pull. Everyone wanted to be around him all the time. And who could blame them, because I can't remember one time I wasn't happy around him. But as we all know, the sun will set, and it will become so dark and cold, and we will feel hopeless. But we cannot give up. We must build fires and shine our lights so we can see again. And we must come together and share the memories we lived under the sun, and share the warmth in our hearts that he once left with us.
Thank you, Sean. Adam?
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming tonight. Speaking on behalf of Laura and Sang and Austin, and they've asked me to read the scripture for tonight. So I would ask that you take this message to your heart. The first reading will be from Psalms 23. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not be in want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He restores my soul. He guides me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows. Surely goodness and love will follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. The second reading is from 2 Corinthians, the first verse, or the first chapter, verses 3 through 7. Praise be to God the Father. Praise be to the God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, the Father of compassion and the God of all comfort, who comforts us in all our troubles, so that we can comfort those in any trouble with the comfort we ourselves have received from God. For just as the suffering of Christ flow over into our lives, so also through Christ our comfort overflows. If we are distressed, it is for your comfort and salvation. If we are comforted, it is for your comfort, which produces in you patient endurance of the same sufferings we suffer. And our hope for you is firm, because we know that just as you share in our sufferings, so also you share in our comfort. These two passages basically speak to, although we don't always understand things that happen and why things happen, God is still present with us, and his love for us is never ending. He comes alongside of us when we go through very hard times and overwhelming situations. And so I just ask that this reading is a blessing to all.
Thank you, Adam. Samantha?
Hi, I'm Samantha App, and I've been friends with Brandon for my entire life. We have grown and learned about the world together, and I was blessed to have him in so much of my life. Our families have been very close: beach weekends, cruises, ski trips, Thanksgiving dinners, and so much more. I knew Brandon before he was who he was today, and I got the pleasure to see him change into the person we all know and love. When we used to spend weekends at the beach house, Brandon wasn't exactly the adventurous soul we all knew him as. His idea of an adventure was getting on the next level of a video game on his PlayStation, or figuring out a new way to hack someone's computer. He was always inside, and if he wasn't, then he was outside burning ants with a magnifying glass while I sat on the hammock watching him. Throughout the years, I saw him change his perspective on life and the world. He would always see the best in people and wanted to live every minute to the fullest. However, one thing that has never changed was his compassion and his genuine love for sharing his thoughts with others. Now, back in the day, Brandon and I used to sleep together. Not like that, but each night when we were at the beach house, I would sleep on an inflatable mattress between Brandon's bed and Austin's bed. Each night we would talk for hours. He was really into reading books, and he would tell me all about the books he was reading at the time. Then, when it got late, we would pass paper notes back and forth, talking about our crushes and all the 5th grade drama. I spent over 11 years with Brandon, and all the memories we've had will last me a lifetime. I will never forget the ways his eyes squinted when he smiled, his laugh, or the way he would squeeze the air out of me when he gave me a hug. But my best memories of Brandon were when he came to visit me after a long day. I can't count how many times he would come over just to sit on my front porch or at my kitchen table or on the couch to watch a movie and just talk about anything and everything. My favorite memory would be when he first got his car. He came straight to my house to show it off to me. He said, "Samantha, you need to hear this. Get in the car." So I got in the car, and he just smiled at me. He put on a song from his playlist and blasted the radio. So there we were, sitting in the middle of my driveway with the radio blasting, too loud to hear each other speak. So we didn't. We just sat and looked at each other, and in that moment we were both so genuinely happy. And I will never forget that moment because that was really him. Always happy, listening to music and with his friends. From teaching me how to fish, showing me card tricks, throwing acorns at me, almost getting struck by lightning together on the pier because he wanted clam chowder, and playing the piano for me, I had found someone I truly loved and have been so blessed to have known. You will always be in my heart. I love you, Brandon.
Thank you, Samantha. Greg, Leo, and Lexi.
Hi everyone, my name is Greg Titus and I've known Brandon since the very beginning of freshman year. I know that may not seem like long at all, but in those 2 short years I spent with him, it has left me with memories that could last a lifetime. Being around Brandon and having him in my presence always lifted my spirits and just simply made everything okay. I will never forget all the adventures we had together, and it was so great because every second of every day that I was with Brandon was an adventure. Whether it was going on a walk, going to a party, or sitting on the roof and watching the sky for hours, I couldn't be more appreciative of it all. The greatest memory I have with Brandon was one night when me and Leo slept over at Brandon's house and I got woken up at about 4:30 in the morning. It was Brandon being all jacked up to go see the sunrise. After about 5 minutes of fighting with him, he finally got me up, and I'm so glad he did because what I saw was breathtaking. Just sitting there and watching the beautiful sun slowly bring life and color to the day that was just starting was absolutely life-changing, and I'm so glad I got to share that moment with one of my best friends. Brandon was the one that taught me the way of life. He taught me how to appreciate all things no matter how big or small it was. He also taught me how to talk to others and how that no matter what, that no matter who you met, you could talk to them and relate to them in so many ways. It was amazing how wherever we went, he always went up to random people and just instantly got to know them. It didn't matter if you barely knew him, it felt like you guys had been best friends forever. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't know half the amazing people I know to this day, and I am forever grateful for that. I hate to say this, but I know that I will never meet anyone as creative, unique, and different as Brandon was. Although he may not be with me anymore, I know that he will be in my heart forever and will still be by my side watching me go through this thing called life. I love you, Brandon, and I'll see you soon.
My name is Lexi Leon, and I've known Brandon for over a year now. Brandon was my best friend, my sidekick, and my brother. He was always there for me and always reminded me to keep my head held high and seek the positives in life. He was the light guiding me through the darkness, and I will never ever forget the impact he had on my life. Before I met Brandon, I took everything and everyone around me for granted. I never really appreciated how beautiful these Florida sunsets were, or how beautiful these puffy clouds were in the sky. And I never really appreciated the people around me as much as I should have. But after the countless deep conversations I had with Brandon while looking at the night sky with the millions of twinkling stars, my perspective on a lot of things started to change. He made me realize that there is so much more to life than worrying about the tiny things. I learned to push that negativity aside and focus on what's around me, like the people, the adventures that are yet to come, the beautiful sights, etc. And I hope that his teachings will rub off on all of you here tonight. Every time we would be hanging out, he would always tell me about a new place he found that he wanted to go explore. And I should have been writing all of these places down because I'd probably have a book by now. Brandon, thank you so much for everything you have taught me. And thank you for all the unforgettable memories. I love you and miss you more than you could ever imagine. You will forever be in my heart.
Hi, my name is Leo. Most of you know me. If you don't, I'm Leo. I've known Brandon since around 5th grade. Losing a friend is one of the most painful experiences a person must endure in life. Everybody at some point has lost a friend, and it is hard for us to accept that a person that we have shared so many moments with and trusted with so many things is no longer in our life. Although this tragedy of Brandon saddens our souls and leaves us an empty space, we must always remember him with joy. A way of accepting the loss of a dear one is saying goodbye to them and telling everyone else what good friends they were and how we will miss them. I would like to tell you that I never thought about this day, and I never imagined being up here saying this in front of all of you. I don't know how long I can endure being here, but I hope I say what is most important. At least I promise I will try. As many of you know, Brandon was one of my closest friends I've ever had. Since then, we shared countless outings, trips, and parties. He was always a happy man. Thanks to him, I became a better person. If I were to mention all the things I learned from him, I would never finish. I owe him so much. Because of him, I have the family I never had before. He took me in as a brother and loved me like one else.
Thank you, Greg, Leo, and Lexi.
Hi, I'm Lexi Hurst, and I've known Brandon since the beginning of my sophomore year. From secrets shared to souls bared, I knew you and you knew me too. Someone like Brandon isn't really hard to know. He showed people their potential to grow. His open book personality helped everyone understand his mentality. His morals, values, all authentic. He was compassionate and meant it. And even as I sit and write this out, I still can't help but feel this doubt. He isn't gone, not from my mind, but instead travels where I go, in the sky. I look to him when feeling lost, to converse about life and growing up. Nostalgia was a topic we pondered, how it felt to age we wondered. Memories come and go through my mind, they flicker with the tricks of time, but never do they seem to fade. I think of them in times of shade. He was the light of any room and sheltered people from life's inevitable doom. He had a way of making light any problem that dealt with spite. He taught self-love and love each other, and I've never met a boy so proud of his mother. His gratitude never wavered, even when lacking expression. He hated his emotional repression. He talked to me for hours on end of all she's done since he began. Brandon and I had time to talk. We came to the conclusion we had a fear of the future and the societal illusion. We didn't want a 9-to-5, just somebody to listen, to impact the world and make a real difference. And as I look out here tonight at all this love, I see it's very evident his wish from up above. We need to fill each day with life, love, laughter, and light, and live by what we truly feel is right. So, in honor of a young boy with an old soul who had a fear of growing old, let's vow to live in the moment, accept the past, and love the future and all of the possibilities awaiting us just on the other side of fear.
Hi, I don't even know if you can hear me. I'm Alexa. I'm sorry, I don't have a speech really prepared, but I do have a song to sing. It's called All I Want, and I'm just gonna sing it. Okay. All I want is nothing more to hear you knocking at my door. If I could see your face once more, I could die a happy man, I'm sure.
Hello everyone, just a few words. My name is Jay, some know me as John from high school. I've known Sang since junior high, Laura since college. I moved away to Houston after college, but we've seen Brandon and Austin grow and blossom through the years. You're all here today because Brandon's son touched your life in some special way. Maybe he was a brother to you. Maybe he was someone who looked out for you when you were new and you didn't know anyone. That seems to be a common theme. Perhaps he was like a family member. Or maybe he was the boy who made us pause from our crazy lives and see the wonders of nature. However he touched your life, do one thing. Carry his spark with you always and make someone's life better like he did for you. Remember his smile. Remember his love. Remember him. Always.
I'm speechless, but everyone who knows me knows that's impossible. The sheer number of people in attendance at the high school Friday night and all of you here today is overwhelming and comforting. Our family knew how special Brandon was, but we are sincerely touched by the outpouring of love and support you all have given us, and especially me. I would like to thank Natasha, Miss Irvin, Zadie, John Luke, Sean, Adam, Samantha, both Lexi Hurst and Lexi Leon, Greg, Leo, and Alexa. You did beautiful. Thank you so much for that, for your beautiful tributes to Brandon. Also, Sang and I are eternally grateful for the stories and memories those you have shared with us over the last few days. As a parent, there is no greater compliment than hearing someone speak so highly of your child. It makes you feel as a parent like you did okay. And through your stories, we both saw ourselves in Brandon. Who was Brandon to us? He was our firstborn son, born November 25th, 1999. Which fell on Thanksgiving that year in Coral Springs, Florida. He was Austin's older brother. He was the first grandson born to his loving grandparents. My mom, Evelyn Engelberger, here from Tampa. My in-laws, Chai and Sakun Son from Lakeland. My dad and his wife, Charles and Vicki Engelberger from North Carolina. He was a nephew to his Aunt Hoy and his Uncle Marcus from Switzerland, his Uncle Sadi from Tampa, and Uncle Darren, my brother, and Aunt Mandy, both from Fort Walton Beach. He was first cousin to Zadie, who you met, 17, from Fort Walton Beach, and Tyler, 11, of Switzerland. He played baseball and soccer during his elementary years. He loved Spider-Man and Legos and everything Star Wars. He was a great writer and an avid reader. He read all the Harry Potter books in 2nd grade. He was adored by all his teachers at Clark Elementary, many who are here today. He was special. In middle school, he excelled in academics. He ran track and was member of the Future Business Leaders of America at Bartels Middle. He took piano lessons for 6 years. He was a gifted child. But to his father and I, his gifts were his curiosity, his thirst for knowledge, his ability to self-teach and master everything he was interested in, thanks to you too. Solving the Rubik's Cube in under a minute and a half, magic tricks, card tricks, video games, hacking, fixing computers. He even started a computer repair business called Quick Fix. Y'all remember that one? With a website and business cards that he designed. As 8th grade ended, we knew he had a following. I'm pretty sure the entire 8th grade class from Bartels was at our home for the last day of school party that he had organized. I remember him asking, "Mom, can I have a party with 20 or so people? You won't need to do much, I'll take care of it." So I picked him up on the last day and brought a few of those friends home to set up. But he got in the car and said, "Mom, there might be a lot more people than expected. The word got out. But I told them all to come at different times." At last count, we had 75 to 80 kids at our home all at once. They just kept coming. He was mature beyond his years, but yet so young. At age 14, he entered the 9th grade at Freedom High School with great promise and a lot of enthusiasm for being a high schooler. "I've got this, Mom. Please don't embarrass me." By then, he was trying to reinvent and find himself. He loved boxing and working out. His taste for music was his signature. He loved all genres of music, and all the music you have heard in the background tonight and what the ladies sang today was from his playlist on his computer. He recently got his driver's license and enjoyed the freedom that comes along with that. Brandon's life these last couple of years revolved around his friends, as most teenagers experience, and there was a lot of them. He didn't discriminate. He was friends with everyone and everywhere. I've met kids from Wiregrass, Land O'Lakes, King, Middleton, Steinbrenner, Sun Lake, Freedom, and let's not forget Wharton, our neighboring high school. It was apparent the other night at the candlelight ceremony that he touched each of them differently. They all had their own stories and memories of why they were drawn to him. Ready, guys? He was working at Moe's. Welcome to Moe's. And his nickname was Little Beast, because every task he was given, his manager told me recently, he would knock it out quickly. And I'm told he rolled a great burrito, as many of you can attest to. On the 15th of June, he asked for a leave of absence so we could begin our summer vacation at the beach soon. He was playing hard, I'm sure, to pack in this short summer season with his friends. He spent Sunday on Father's Day with his dad and Austin, eating at Lang's Bistro. I'm thankful for and comforted by that. On Monday night, the 20th of June, Brandon and his friend came into my bedroom to say goodbye. He was spending the night with him, so they said. He gave me a quick hug. He petted our dog Cody, who is forever in my bed with me, and walked out of our home for the last time. And I never did get a chance to see my son again. I want everyone who knew us well to know that he and I were good these days and had been for a while. I was so proud of him and told him this often. We were both happy. On most nights we would text goodnight to each other from our bedrooms, and he always wrote, "Good night, I love you." I have 2 quotes I would like to read. Gandhi once said, "Make the choices today that you can live with tomorrow." This next one came from a novel I once read. It's said to be an ancient Chinese proverb. An invisible thread connects those who are destined to meet, regardless of time, place, and circumstance. The thread may stretch or tangle, but it will never break. That represents, to me, all of us here tonight, thanks to our beautiful son, Brandon. My final wish as Brandon's mom to all the young people here today is this. Respect your parents. Respect yourselves. Respect your friends. Play a sport. Get a job. Join a club. Or volunteer in the community. Make a difference. Be a better friend. Don't give in to peer pressure. Speak up. Don't enable bad choices. and do the right thing. Break the cycle and change your generation and those that follow by just saying no to buying and selling, using drugs and alcohol, and convince your friends to do the same. It doesn't have to be a rite of passage. Your generation must be better than the one before you. If not, we as a society and a country and a community have failed you, and we are all better than that. Please don't let Brandon's death to have been in vain. Let us all learn from this senseless, unexplained, and unanswered tragedy, so that no other family has to endure what my family has suffered for the last 7 days and will for the rest of our lives. A dear friend of mine just yesterday came to me with a quote on Facebook, and it is in no way connected to Brandon, but she knew instantly it was my sentiment exactly. One moment can change a day, one day can change a life, and one life can change the world. I'd like not to be angry at the senselessness of this loss, but it's palpable and tragic and deafening. And my monkey mind loudly squawks as my Buddha mind so gently nudges. Be kind, love big. I didn't write this. Don't be an asshole. And live each day like that is all you have, because it might be. Thank you, B, for that.
That's good.
Lastly, and most important, Brandon would want all of us to turn off our cell phones, be still, be silent, slow down, smell the roses, watch a sunset, or climb on my roof or your roof if you have to and watch the sunrise. Remember, your life is a gift. Treat it as such. We love you, Brandon, to the moon and back. We love you.
Whoa. Yep, tough stuff. The family asked that I say a prayer tonight, and so I will. So please bow your heads as I pray. Dear Lord, thank you for being present here tonight, bringing everybody here to celebrate Brandon's life. And Lord, thank you for bringing the community closer together as we grieve the loss of Brandon. I ask that you bring comfort to Laura, Sang, Austin, and the extended family members and friends, as you are the great comforter. God, I ask that you please bring God, I ask that you place a sense of peace and healing into the hearts of all those present and to those that couldn't physically be here tonight. So in the times of trouble and uncertainty, you have taught us how to pray, and I ask that you please join me as we recite the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever and ever. Amen.
Thank you. Thanks everyone for coming this evening. The family appreciates all of you being here and showing all this love for Brandon. This concludes our service, and in memory of Brandon, please take a flower from one of the arrangements as you go. We'll be here for the next few minutes to talk among ourselves, and then we'll be spending the rest of the evening in privacy, but please feel free to visit over the next week, and we thank you for coming.